Hello, everybody. My name is Trisha Fusco, and I am the principal at McAnally Elementary School. And I know that we are gearing up for another school year. I cannot believe it. And tomorrow is kindergarten orientation night, and it is going to be a very jam packed evening, so much so that we had to divide it into two sessions. So, in order to minimize, or I should say maximize your time, I am going to prepare a presentation for you to view so that you can get all of the good stuff out of the way so that you have the best time with your teacher, your child's teacher tomorrow. So, this presentation is to go over all of kind of the nitty gritty of what is McAnally Elementary School. So, you can watch it anytime you want, as many times as you want. It's going to be that entertaining. You'll want to watch it many, many times. Just a little bit about myself for those of you that don't know me. I am a Baldwin grad. I was born and raised in Baldwin. My husband went to Baldwin. My mom went to Baldwin. My grandparents lived in Baldwin. So I come from a long history of Baldwin Whitehall family. My children went to Baldwin up until last year. We recently moved. I think they were getting a little bit tired of being Mrs. Fusco's children. So we did move out of the district. It was a very, very difficult decision. Um, but they are adjusting, and it's been okay for me to separate a little bit. But I have my school here. I was at Painter Elementary School for 14 years prior to coming here to McAnally. Last year was my first year here, and it was a wonderful year. So I'm super excited to start another year here with my kindergarten and first graders. I don't want you to think that there's something wrong with your monitor, but I do have purple hair, as you can see, and I want to apologize ahead of time. And I'm going to tell you that it's a very, very strong possibility that your girls are going to want to come home and say, Mom, I want purple hair. And I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Or maybe some moms out there are going to want to have purple hair. And I highly recommend it because it's really, really fun. So, enough about me. I cannot wait to have your children. I'm so excited. This building has been so, so lonely without my little friends running around, keeping me extremely busy. So, it's decorated almost 95%, ready for them to come and fill these hallways with laughter and smiles and hugs, and I cannot wait. So, I am going to share my screen with you, and I will talk to you about what kindergarten is all about. So I know it's hard to believe, but your children are the graduating class of 2035. I know it sounds so far away, but my son is 17, and it just feels like yesterday that he was coming to kindergarten here at McAnally, and now he's 17 years old with his permit. He's getting older, I'm not. So, yes, 2035 graduating class. And the first day of kindergarten is coming. You should have received a letter via email that is the staggered start. And what that information indicates is your child will start school either Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. So if your child starts on Tuesday, which is the 30th, that means they do not come to school on Monday. They do not come to school on Wednesday. They only come on Tuesday. And then everybody comes back Thursday, Friday. And there's a reason why we do this. So if there's 21 kids in the class, we break it down so that only 7 will come on that day. And it's less overwhelming for the children, and they can learn about their routines, procedures in a much smaller group, and it just eases them in to their first day. It makes it just a little bit easier. And then on Thursday, everybody comes as a whole class, and then they have 2 days together, and it just makes it a little bit easier. So if you did not receive that information, please call me, email the office, email me, and I will make sure that you have that. So we do have breakfast in the classroom. It is free. So every morning your children will have the opportunity to have breakfast in the classroom. It is served in a brown bag. We do account for allergies. So if your child has any allergies, please, please, please let us know. So once your children get dropped off or they are bused or come off of the bus, the breakfast in the classroom, it will be delivered to each individual classroom. Students, again, have the opportunity to take it or not. And of course, it is optional and they can take home what's left. So it is a great program. There are no nuts, so we don't have to worry about that. And again, that is free. So for the last 2 years, due to COVID, our lunches have been free. And I'm sorry to say that that is no more. And unfortunately, again, our lunch costs have increased pretty significantly, if you ask me. So our lunches, they do cost $3.30. And in order for a student to purchase lunch, we do have a lunch account that you can put money into. If you go onto our website, it's www.bwschools.net. I should have probably put that on there for you. There is a tab under food services, and you can access that under our schools. You can go into any school, it doesn't matter. You can go under Mackinac, and there is a food services tab. You can find menus. There is the August or September menu, and it is done for the entire month. So you can peruse the menu, look and see what you think your child might be interested in eating, and then the teacher will take a lunch count. Maybe I shouldn't speak to that because the teachers may do it differently, but I'm sure they'll talk about that at orientation. I'm pretty sure they do it daily. Some may do it weekly, but every day, think about if your child is going to purchase lunch or if they're going to pack lunch. If they're going to pack lunch, just make sure that they have their lunchbox. They can purchase milk in the cafeteria, and I believe milk is 50 cents. And they can purchase milk again when they pack their lunch. When you are funding the lunch account, there is something called an e-fund, and that is done directly online. And here's the cafeteria fund right there. You would click on that, and you do have to set that up in order to make payments to that. There is a small fee associated with that. I have been trying to get that changed, but I'm not sure that we can. So I am working on that. So this is the big question, arrival and dismissal time. So our arrival time is 8:20 to 8:35. If you're going to be driving your children, and thank you so much to everybody that has responded to the Google form that I sent out, if your child is going to be a car rider, you can drop your child off at 8:10 if they're going to be a car rider, and we will just have them hang out in the gym, of course supervised, until about 8:20, and then we will release them into the classrooms. And then about 2:40, we will start dismissal and car rider dismissal for the first few weeks. It takes a little bit longer, but we will start dismissal at 2:40. For those of you that are brand new to Mackinac, we do have an app. It's called Pick My Kid, and you will be getting information on that. So don't worry about that for right now. For those of you that have had experience with that, maybe you have older kids at another school and you have used it before, we are going to be using that again. Um, but if your child is going to be a car rider every single day, you just need to send one email. It will be sufficient for the whole entire school year. And that needs to be sent to Angie at mesoffice@bwschools.net. Um, if your child will be a sporadic car rider, please email Angie every single time they will be picked up, because we need to keep track of that and add them to the car rider list. So when we are talking about car riders, this is my attempt at a diagram. So when you are coming down McAnally Road, this is where you would pull in, don't mind the trees, and here's where the buses are right here. Now, this is the main entrance right here where you would go in and get scanned in to come into the main office. Again, here's where the buses will drop off, and these lovely smiling faces are all of the adults that will be welcoming your children and making sure they're getting off the bus safely. If this screen was extended, this is the entrance down here a bit further, where the children will be getting off the buses and entering the building. So buses are coming in here. Now, if we go down a little bit further, in this entrance right here is where the car riders come in. Car riders will come into this entrance here, and when you pull around the circle, we are going to make two lines. So there will be no cars that are parked here. There might be some down here, and there's teachers parked here, but we're going to make two lines, and this is for drop off and pickup. When you are dropping your kids off or picking them up, you will stay in the car. We will come out and get them in the morning, and we will bring them out to you in the afternoon. And that is how, in the afternoon, the Pick My Kid app. So when you have all of that information and it's downloaded, when you arrive, you will just click that you have arrived, and we have everything loaded on our smart board. And when we know you are here, we line the kids up, we bring them right out to you. And it works very, very well. It's very efficient. In the morning, once it's 8:10, we open the doors, we come out, we grab your little lovelies, and we bring them right in to the stairs right here. Now, this is the most important part. And sometimes we have a hard time with parents pulling up all the way because they want to stop right here because they want to watch their lovelies get right into school. We need parents to stop right here at these double lines so we can maximize the space in the parking lot. So if you happen to be the first one in the lot, please, please, please pull all the way up to like this X right here. Now there's a dumpster up here. You don't need to pull up that far, but there's this X right here. And all of these smiling faces are the adults that are going to be assisting children getting out of the cars. It's very nice for you because you don't have to get fancy. You don't even have to have shoes on if you don't want to, because you never even have to get out of the car, especially when it's raining or snowing. You just bring your beauties to school and we will get them out of the car. So it is fantastic and it works, and it is so much safer than the procedures that have been in place before. So just remember, pull all the way up right here and everything should just be kosher. So busing, tomorrow at orientation, we will be giving all of the children a lanyard that you can put their busing information in, and we are going to ask that the children wear them for the first 2 weeks so that we can double check their busing information when we load them onto the bus. If you have any changes that need to be made for their busing, please call the bus garage and then let the teacher know, just so that we can double check that the changes have been made. We will get that changed from the bus garage, but we just want to double check and make sure that everything is correct. Busing, I was told that if you are given bus information that, let's just say your child's bus is coming at 7:50, the bus is probably going to be a little bit early. So my advice is that you go to the bus stop earlier than usual because the buses are going to be a little bit earlier, which is wonderful. Better early than late. So our buses, I have been told, will be coming around 8:20, and the last bus will be leaving Macanaldi. It is scheduled to arrive at 3:18, and it should be leaving our parking lot at 3:20. Please understand that the first few weeks of school, things do get behind. And I know moms and dads, with this is your first child going to school, it's very, very nerve wracking when your child is not home when you think they should be home. I promise you, they'll be there. It's just, it might be a few minutes later than usual. If it's 5 minutes, please don't panic. If it's 10 minutes, please don't panic. Even if it's 15 minutes, please don't panic. But if it would make you feel better, please call and we'll let you know where the bus is. We can contact the bus garage. They can call into the driver and we can see where the location is to put your mind at ease. But I would recommend just waiting at least 15 or 20 minutes before you make a call because, like I said, the first few weeks, the drivers are getting used to their routes. Kids take a little bit longer to board the bus. Kids forget things. We're also dealing with 250 kindergartners. So, you know how long it takes, your little one to get in the car. So think about that times 250. Put that into perspective. Skyward. So this is our main source of communication. When you registered your child, you were given your password, which is your first name, a period, and your last name, and then you have a password. Please, please, please use this. This houses all of the information that you will need to know everything. I send out Skyward messages all the time. If you are not getting those messages, then you may be blocked, and it is nothing that you did. When my kids were in school, I got blocked, and I have no idea how it happened, but it's something that you have to have access for. You can go in and you can check attendance. You get newsletters from your teacher. You get communication from the superintendent. You'll get notification from the school nurse. There is so many things that you need to have access to in Skyward. So please make sure that the information is updated in there because if you are unable to pick up your child and you send somebody else, if their information is not in Skyward, we are unable to release your child to that person. So please make sure that anytime your information changes, that it is updated in Skyward. So RAPTOR is our system that monitors our school security. And what this does is anybody that comes through our front doors, before they even enter the building, they have to buzz in and they have to show us a photo ID. We ask them, how can I help you? What is your business here? They show us their ID. They enter the building and they have to give us their license. We run their license and it is run through, as it says, a sex offender database. Once the ID is scanned, everything is clear. If you are there just to pick up your child, you do not need a badge, print it out. It basically is there for us to document your visit and we add why you were there and what time. If you are there for, say, to volunteer We would print you out a badge. It does have your picture on it, the time you are there, and why you are there. Um, Even if you've been in the building 15 times and I know you by name, we had lunch yesterday, I'm still going to ask you for your ID every single time, and we're going to scan it because that's the procedure. If you don't have a photo ID, you're not going to be let in the building. And that is because it is a safety issue. I love these kids, and I'm not going to let anything happen to them on my watch. Parents get very upset sometimes when they know that I know them and they don't have a photo ID and I don't let them in the building. And again, you've entrusted your children to me, and I am going to do every single thing possible to keep them safe. And I hope you understand that. There have been several times in the car pickup line where, normally it's the same parent that picks up a child. And a couple of times I didn't recognize the parent, and they tell me who they're there for, and I've had to ask for ID because I didn't recognize who they were. But it's just, again, for safety measures. And I would never ever live with myself if I gave a child away to somebody who they don't belong to. So please know that I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm not trying to stir the pot. It's just that I love these kids too much to just risk their safety for carelessness. Um, so if you are sending somebody in your place, please make sure that they have a photo ID. So if you are going to come to McAnally and volunteer, which I highly recommend because this place is fun, you will have to fill out a limited contact volunteer form. We have paper copies here, or you can find one on the website. Um, Even if you filled out one last year, we ask that you fill out a new one this year. I know our PTO is planning some amazing activities this year, and I would love it if you volunteered. We always are looking for volunteers to do great stuff with our kids. And I know that kids love to see their parents in the building, or grandparents, aunts, uncles, whomever. So come be a volunteer. We are a school-wide Title I school. And really, what that means is any child that needs support, intervention with reading, we are able to provide that for them. In the past, we've been a targeted school-wide program where we could only assist those particular children that needed supports, but not anymore. So we do have an instructional specialist, and her name is Miss Carrie Van Wee, and we are working together to figure out the best way possible to support all of our students and give them the support that they need for the remediation and the intensive intervention that our struggling readers need. So students that are brand new to our school, they will be assessed specifically in first grade. Now, it's a little bit different with kindergarten because we definitely need to give our kindergartners some additional time to learn and be given those opportunities because there's so much that they have to learn. So we give them a lot of time, at least up until January, to really see where their struggles are, and then we do some more assessing then because we have a lot more data. Because right now we don't really have any data to go by, so we look at their classroom assessments. We look at the other standardized assessments that we do that are new this year. One is called NWEA. We also do something called ESGI. So we have those two assessments. And then teacher observation, which is so important. Plus, we also have a process called MTSS. and that's called multi-tiered support system. And I know this is a lot of educational jargon, and I'm probably losing you right now, but just know that it's a process in place that if your child is struggling, we're here to help. And basically, what this screen says is that we have a Title I night, and we encourage all families to participate. I will be sending home monthly newsletters to parents to encourage you to help your children read and provide activities to support reading at home and make reading fun. I know reading is hard for kids that struggle. They don't want to read because it's hard for them. But if you're reading at home, then you're modeling it and kids will want to read too. So we try to do those things for our kids. We also provide a lot of PD for our staff to incorporate those really great strategies for reading for all students and provide additional resources in addition to our curriculum to find and help those struggling readers. So we're doing a lot for our kids because we know that right now this is the foundation that they need. And if they're not getting it, we're setting them up for failure. And I don't do well with failure. No way, never, no how. So they're coming out of McAnulty as readers. Mark my words. This is the part that makes my palms sweaty because when I went to principal school, they didn't tell me that this would ever be a thing. So this is our ALICE, and as you can see, it stands for Alert, Lockdown, Inform, Counter, and Evacuate. All of our teachers have been trained already this year for this upcoming school year on ALICE. All of our students will be trained, it is my hope, by the end of September on our ALICE procedures. Because our children are so little, we have to be very careful of the vocabulary and the way that we explicitly teach ALICE, because while we want to make sure that they understand ALICE and know what to do in a crisis situation, we don't want to scare them. We don't want them to be afraid to come to school. So it's important of how we deliver this information. ALICE is a school safety program on how to keep kids safe. Plus, we want them to be able to understand how to protect themselves too. So this is the book that we share with the kids. It's called I'm Not Scared, I'm Prepared. It is very child-centered. It's very friendly. We do extension activities with the kids to talk about how we can keep ourselves protected in a scary situation. We don't really necessarily use the word crisis situation. Um, so again, it's about the delivery. My husband always says it's in the delivery, Trisha. And while I don't like when he says that because he's right, and you know, men are never right. Sorry, dads. Just kidding. It is about the delivery, especially with this. We have to be very, very sensitive. And this is something we take very, very serious. And we talk about it and we practice. We will have drills. You will be notified of a drill and you know what is happening. And I'm sure the kids will come home and tell you about it. And all I can say is that I'm sorry that this is the world we live in, but it is. And what I can say is that I will do everything in my power to protect your children and hope that we never ever have to deal with this. But they will know what to do. We do have two school police officers. Bill Coddington, he is the director of school and safety and school security. And then our other school police officer, his name is Jeff Gillen. You will see them at our bigger events. They are armed, just so you're aware. We do have one new staff member, a new first grade teacher, and she's already been trained in Alice. Um, and like I said, our students will be trained in Alice hopefully by the end of September. So I want it, I want them to know how to be trained and know these procedures as soon as possible. I know I've talked a lot. I'm sorry for throwing all of this information out at you. I would have much rather been sitting in a gym talking with you face to face, but for time's sake, that wasn't able to happen. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, email me, um, stop me at orientation tomorrow. I can't wait to meet all of you. I appreciate your time and I cannot wait for the school year to start. So, thank you. Have a wonderful day and I'll see you tomorrow.